All right, buckle up everybody, because we are diving deep today into some seriously mind-blowing science.
Oh, I like where this is going.
We are talking all about longevity.
Longevity, huh?
That's right, the secrets of aging, and how we might actually be able to influence it more than we thought possible.
Oh, okay. Color me intrigued. Count me in.
We've got excerpts from a medical textbook, chapter 18, to be exact, all about how athletes age.
Interesting.
And get this, it suggests we might actually have more control over how our genes express themselves than we ever thought possible. Like, imagine being able to nudge your genes towards a longer, healthier life.
Yeah, who wouldn't want that, right?
Right. So are you in? Are you ready to unlock these secrets with epigenetics?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, let's dive in. So first things first, we need to make sure we're all on the same page. What exactly are we talking about when we say epigenetics?
Yeah, it's a bit of a buzzword these days, but it's a fascinating area of research for sure. It all starts with understanding that we're not talking about changing your DNA sequence.
Right, not changing the building blocks themselves.
Exactly. It's more about influencing how your genes behave.
Okay.
Like tweaking the software that runs on the hardware of your DNA.
Okay, I'm loving the software analogy.
Yeah, it's a good one.
So are you saying we can actually reprogram our genes to age differently?
In a way, yes. Epigenetics is all about how genes can be switched on or off without altering the underlying DNA code.
Oh, okay.
Think of it like a light switch.
Right.
You can change whether a light is on or off without rewiring the entire electrical system.
I get it.
Similarly, our environment and lifestyle choices can influence which genes are active and how strongly they're expressed.
So it's not just about the genes we inherit,
Nope.
but how we interact with them throughout our lives.
You got it.
That's pretty empowering.
Exactly. And you know what? One of the most powerful tools we have for influencing our epigenome is exercise.
Wait, hold up. Are you telling me that working out can actually change how my genes behave? Like literally flip the switches on the ones that help me live longer?
You got it. The research is pretty clear on this.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Exercise can activate genes that boost your metabolism
Really?
and help your body use energy more efficiently. It's like optimizing your body's engine for peak performance and longevity.
Okay, this is where I need you to break it down for me. How does exercise actually make these changes at the genetic level?
Sure.
What's going on in our cells?
Well, one key mechanism is called DNA methylation.
Okay.
Imagine a dimmer switch that can fine-tune the brightness of a light.
Uh-huh.
DNA methylation works similarly by adding or removing chemical tags that control how much a gene is expressed.
Interesting.
Exercise can influence these tags, essentially turning up the volume on genes that promote longevity and turning down the ones that might accelerate aging.
So it's like exercise is giving our genes a pep talk, telling them to step up their game and help us live longer, healthier lives.
You could say that.
Pretty cool. But I have to admit, I'm still wrapping my head around how all of this works.
It's definitely complex. But think about it this way. Remember the Human Genome Project? That massive effort to map out all the genes in human DNA.
Yeah, I remember hearing about it. Wasn't it a huge breakthrough?
Absolutely. But here's something that might surprise you. Humans have a lot fewer genes than scientists initially expected.
Oh, really?
Only about 20,500.
Yeah.
And get this, that's not that much more than simpler organisms like mice and fruit flies.
Wait, seriously? We share a lot of our genetic makeup with mice.
That's kind of mind-blowing.
More than you might think. In fact, about 85% of the protein-coding regions in our DNA are similar to those found in mice.
Wow.
This similarity has actually been incredibly helpful for research, allowing scientists to study human diseases in mice through genetic engineering.
Oh, wow, I see. So we're more alike than we are different, genetically speaking.
It seems that way.
But how does this tie back to longevity and exercise?
Well, if we have similar genes to these other creatures, it suggests that the basic mechanisms of aging might also be similar.
And that brings us to another key player in the longevity game. Telomeres.
Okay, telomeres.
Yeah.
Remind me what those are again.
Sure.
They're like the protective caps on our chromosomes, right?
Exactly. Imagine the plastic tips on your shoelaces that keep them from fraying.
Right.
Telomeres serve a similar purpose, protecting the ends of our chromosomes from damage and degradation. The problem is every time a cell divides, these telomeres get a little bit shorter.
So our telomeres are kind of like a biological clock ticking away with each cell division.
That's a good way to think about it.
Does that mean shorter telomeres equals a shorter lifespan?
There's definitely a correlation.
Mm-hmm.
As telomeres get shorter, our cells become less efficient at replicating and repairing themselves, which contributes to the aging process. But here's the good news. exercise can actually help slow down telomere shortening.
Hold on. Are you telling me that exercise can actually protect these tiny caps on our chromosomes and potentially slow down the aging process?
It seems that way. While the research is still ongoing, the findings so far are incredibly promising. Physical activity appears to have a protective effect on telomeres, helping to preserve their length and potentially extending the lifespan of our cells.
This is incredible. So not only does exercise make us feel good, but it might actually be helping us stay younger for longer at a cellular level.
That's the idea.
This is mind-blowing stuff.
It really is. It highlights the incredible power we have to influence our own health and longevity through lifestyle choices.
I'm completely fascinated by all of this, and I'm sure our listeners are too. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive, from the basics of epigenetics to the incredible connection between exercise and telomere length.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff.
It really is. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back to delve even deeper into the fascinating world of epigenetics and longevity.
Welcome back, everyone.
All right, so before we go any further, I'm curious to know more about the specific ways exercise can change things at the genetic level.
Well, one of the most fascinating aspects is how exercise influences our metabolism. You see, our textbook highlights that a general response to exercise is something called hypomethylation.
Hypo what now?
Hypomethylation.
Can we break that down a bit?
Sure, think of your genes like a volume knob on a stereo.
Okay.
If methylation is turning the volume down, hypomethylation is cranking it back up.
Okay.
It essentially allows those genes to express themselves more fully.
Interesting.
And in this case, it's happening with genes related to how our bodies use energy.
So it's like exercise is fine-tuning our metabolism by adjusting those genetic volume knobs. Does that mean it helps us burn fat more efficiently?
That's one of the exciting possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's not the only way exercise impacts those genes. There's another fascinating mechanism at play here involving histone decyclases.
Ah, yes, HDACs. We touched on those earlier. They're like the bouncers at a club, keeping certain genes from getting too loud, right?
Exactly. Well, exercise can actually make those bouncers a bit more lenient.
Really? It leads to a downregulation of HDACs.
So fewer bouncers, more action on the dance floor. But which genes are getting this VIP treatment?
One of the key players here is a gene called GLUT4, which is crucial for helping our muscles use glucose for energy.
Okay.
You can think of it as a doorway that allows glucose to enter our muscle cells.
Okay.
Exercise essentially makes this doorway wider, allowing more glucose to flow in and fuel our muscles.
So it's like exercise is upgrading our body's energy delivery system at the genetic level. Pretty impressive.
It truly is. And you know what? It doesn't stop there.
What else?
Remember those tiny molecules we mentioned earlier? MicroRNAs.
Yes, the little genetic messengers that can fine-tune gene expression.
Well, it turns out that exercise has a profound impact on microRNA levels in muscle tissue.
Wow.
Studies have shown that both a quick burst of intense activity and longer-term strength training can significantly influence these microRNAs.
So whether we're sprinting or lifting weights, we're sending out these tiny genetic signals that can shape how our muscles grow and function. Exactly. And the impact is pretty remarkable.
Really?
Some of these microRNAs are directly involved in the growth and remodeling of skeletal muscle.
So essentially, helping our muscles adapt and become stronger, more efficient.
Precisely.
It's like exercise is whispering instructions to our genes, telling them to build us stronger, healthier muscles.
It really is quite remarkable.
It makes you wonder, what else might those whispers be capable of?
It's an intriguing thought, isn't it? We've seen how exercise impacts those tiny messengers, those microRNAs, and in turn, how those microRNAs can influence muscle growth.
Right.
But what about the aging process itself?
Now, that's a question I'm definitely interested in exploring further.
Me too.
Okay, so let's talk aging. I mean, that's what we're really here for, right?
Absolutely. And remember those telomeres we talked about?
Yeah.
Those protective caps on our chromosomes?
Oh, right. The shoelace tips.
Exactly. Well, as we age, our telomeres naturally shorten with each cell division.
Okay.
It's like a clock slowly ticking away.
So shorter telomeres equal a faster ticking clock, basically.
You could say that. And when those telomeres get too short, our cells can't function as well.
Oh, no.
Leading to, well, aging.
That doesn't sound good.
It's a natural part of life, but here's the exciting part. Research suggests that exercise can actually help slow down how fast our telomeres shorten.
Seriously? Are you telling me that hitting the gym can help slow down the aging process?
It seems that way. Physical activity appears to protect our telomeres from too much wear and tear.
Wow. It's like exercise can rewind the clock. at least a little bit.
That's a great way to put it, and it really highlights how much power we have to influence our own health and longevity.
This whole concept of epigenetics is mind-blowing. It's like we have this hidden language inside our genes, and exercise is one way we can talk to them.
It really is amazing, isn't it?
It really is. So we've talked a lot about exercise, but I'm curious, are there other things that can affect our epigenome?
Oh, absolutely. Things like what we eat, how well we sleep, even our stress levels and social connections.
All of that can affect our genes.
It all plays a role. It's a complex system, but the more we learn about it, the more we realize just how much control we have over our own health and longevity.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired right now.
You too?
It's amazing to think that we have the power to influence our own genetic destiny just by making smart choices.
I completely agree. It really is empowering.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one takeaway you'd like our listeners to remember?
I think the most important thing is to remember that you're not just a passenger on this journey. You're the driver. You have more power over your health and future than you might realize. So get out there, move your body, eat well, manage your stress, and keep exploring the incredible world within you.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
That's all the time we have for today, but I hope this deep dive has given you a new appreciation for the power of epigenetics and inspired you to take control of your own health and longevity.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.